think Pakistan are obviously a very dangerous side. We've seen consistently throughout, especially ICC tournaments, that they win a lot of games and they get themselves into a position to win the tournament, and they had a great Champions Trophy. So regardless of what kind of form Pakistan go in with, they're always incredibly dangerous. They've got some world-class players. Obviously Baba's in great touch, batting at number 3 and holding their batting together. But also they've got some world-class bowlers. Amir coming back, and he looks to be back to his best. He's swinging the ball again. Wahab's been fast and aggressive. Shadab's a great bowler. Hassan had a great Champions Trophy as well. So I think when you look down their side, there's no player that you can disregard. They've got a lot of experience in their side. They've got a lot of match winners. So every time you come up against Pakistan, you have to play your best to beat them. And on the weather, I think it might play a huge part actually in the next few days. I think next week it starts to fine up and looks good across the country for the remainder of the tournament. But it's important that you get early wins on the board, because if they do play a part, you don't want to be on the wrong end of a couple of washouts that might leave you just outside that top 4. Yeah, you've just got to make sure that you're as well prepared as you can be. You never bank on rain or anything like that. You always prepare for the full 50 overs, and then you work on the spot. Your team might change if it's a really delayed start or something like that. So everyone just has to be prepared to shuffle their roles around and be really adaptable. And that's one thing we've been really, really clear with the players, that we want everyone to be adaptable and be ready to go at any situation. If you change the batting order, everyone will be called upon to bowl. So you always prepare as well as you can for the full 50. And if it changes, it's just a daily thing. Yeah, we're just not sure at the moment. Marcus Stoinis has got a bit of a side strain, so he won't be available especially for tomorrow. So we're going to have to juggle around, especially that all-rounder spot. So we've got Mitch Marsh flying over just as a bit of a precaution. He was meant to fly over with the Australia A side on Friday, so he's just coming a couple of days early, just as a bit of a precaution if Stoin doesn't recover quick enough or doesn't respond to treatment well enough over the next few days. So that's also something we've got to juggle. We've got to find a few more overs now. Whether we play the extra batter or the extra bowler, we'll wait and see, and especially tomorrow with the conditions. Not exactly sure on how many games he'll miss. That's why Mitch is flying over. It's still being assessed, and over the next couple of days we'll have a clearer picture on what that looks like. And also, I think it was about his 5th or 6th over the other day, so it was towards the back end of his second spell, and he come back and bowled 2 overs at the death. But yeah, he was in some discomfort, and it wasn't ideal, but he still managed to bowl a couple of overs. And speaking to guys who have done a side before, they say you can genuinely get through a game towards the end, but it's tough to get going again after you've cooled down. Yeah, like I said before, it's just about trying to weigh up whether we go with the extra batter in Shaun Marsh tomorrow, or we go with an extra bowler and play Alex Carey at 6. It's just one of those things we're going to have to weigh up and have a look and have a think about it this afternoon, and come up with what looks like the best 11 to beat Pakistan. Oh, a huge amount of confidence. I think I felt the way that I played in that series against Pakistan was really pleasing, especially in a couple of big run chases, 280 plus at Sharjah, to be able to bat really deep, especially in that second game, and get a not out to get us over the line was something that I was happy with myself about, because it's an area that I hadn't really done in the past. I'd always, if I'd got 100, I'd got out not long after, especially in a run chase. So it's going to be a totally different attack. I'm also well aware of that. There was Amir for the first game. He didn't play the other 4. There was no Shadab, no Hassan Ali, no Wahab. So it's a totally different attack, but it still gives you a lot of confidence going into a game. That's not a team plan. I think that the last couple of games, the last game in particular, India bowled really well to him at the start, and he hit the field a lot, which as an opening batter, as a top order player, when the field's in, you do generally face a high percentage of dot balls, and I suppose when the field went out, he still hit them fielders, which didn't give his innings a huge amount of flow, which I know that he was disappointed about. But at the same time, there's every evidence suggests that he'll be back to his dangerous best, and when you give good players an opportunity and might be just a little mindset change with Davey. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him a huge amount about his batting. I know he's been working a bit with JL and with Punter to just make sure he's in the right mind frame. But he's playing nicely. I think at the first game against Afghanistan, they bowled well to him as well, and he just couldn't get away. And remember, he was out of the game for 14 months, an international level, and regardless of how good a player you are, it's just going to take a little bit of time, especially as an opening batter, to find your feet, find the pace of the game.